Smackdown. If I had to vote of who's the better show, which is kind of ironic right now because, this is a big day and everyone's voting right now. I'll keep my political views to myself. But, well, if you had to vote right now, who's been the better show this week? Raw or SmackDown? Well, if you vote SmackDown, I'm sure you'll win by a landslide, that's for sure. Because this was a better show, better than the garbage Raw was putting on last night, because Raw is just that bad. But SmackDown was, well, I should say usually a better just show in general. I don't know why I really doubt SmackDown. You can't really even doubt SmackDown nowadays. They don't do a lot wrong, so it's not really it's not even debatable when you look at it, especially right now, even though there are still debates on stuff. But there was a lot going on to this show, especially in the Survivor Series. Booed him, and I think he really, excuse me, which they booed him, which, when he came out, I don't think he really expected that to happen either, which, they went to the crowd, that sort of some tarps off, the crowd and stuff, but as they booed him, Paige wanted to take a picture with the trophy, and as they took a picture of the trophy, you can hear multiple CM Punk chants, which are rightfully deserved, CM Punk chants happening, which, I'm really starting to believe something about this whole best in the world thing, and I'm going to get to AJ Styles later on, but there's a lot to say when involving the best in the world, okay? Best in the world, which, like I said before, CM Punk, chants, but, as Shane's dancing around the ring and everything, he welcomed the crowd, and then he talked about the matches, Survivor Series, which he said he is not the best in the world, but this trophy belongs to everyone here on SmackDown, and, since SmackDown has that trophy, now we need to see who's going to win Survivor Series, which he announced the captain for Survivor Series, which was Daniel Bryan. Daniel, he said this crowd was awesome and everything, and he thanked Shane for saying he is not the best in the world, and he was going to win it for SmackDown at Survivor Series, and prove why they're better than Raw. But when he kept talking about Survivor Series, next thing you know, Miz came out saying that he should be the captain even though he was hurt, and that since Shane was the best in the world, I helped you, so I should get 2/3 credit for this, okay? Because I could have done this match myself, but Shane says, if you lost, you would have been fired right now, okay? But Miz said, hey, we'll split the trophy. I get it this day. I got a lot of rooms in my house, so we gotta, share it and everything. But since Miz said I should be a captain and everything, Shane said, kind of agreed with it, said, you know what, you're right. Him and Paige pretty much went to talk on the side, saying, you both are the captains now. So both of them are the co-captains to Team Smackdown. And as they argued in the back then about this whole co-captain thing, because they said this is not going to work, okay? We cannot work together, which is true since this feud is now continuing, still on and on, which I actually thought this feud kind of stopped for a minute, but the Bryan and Miz feud, I guess, is back on again, and Shane said, you know what, you two make yourselves uncomfortable, and you guys have to make yourselves comfortable now, because you two bring the best out in each other, okay? Which they kind of agreed, and, since Miz, he asked Miz was his first pick, as he said, Shane, you get to be on it, but Shane didn't want to, but then actually Bryan agreed with him. Since that whole best in the world thing and stuff, they both kind of, went in cooperation with each other and said, Shane is now part of the team. Which I feel like now Shane McMahon is on the team SmackDown almost every year, except this time he's not the captain this time. Last year, he pretty much brought all of SmackDown to Raw to kick the living crap out of them and, putting it under siege. The year before that, he had to be on it because Bryan could not wrestle at the time, so Bryan made Shane McMahon. So now they picked Shane McMahon again to be the captain, well, not captain, but to be on the SmackDown team for the third year in a row. So people, get ready for Shane McMahon to do some insane insanity spotlight moves out there, because you know it's coming. Last year was horrible in that 5-on-5 thing. Don't get me started of all the part-timers, and some say old guys, and just they killed the young guys last year to do. Don't get me started in the main event of that whole team thing last year. That thing was the most just dumbest thing. I swear to God, John Cena was there for a freaking payday. They announced up the last minute. Would it have killed that guy to wear a Smackdown shirt in his own gear? At least wear a Smackdown shirt knowing that you're representing the brand. But as to my point, though, Shane McMahon being on this team 3 years in a row. Next was the New Day and the Usos, which they had to fight for who was going to become the captain of the tag team elimination thing. So I guess it's going to be like 5 tag teams versus 5 tag teams. And I remember them doing this a couple of years ago, and how much of a clusterfuck it was, because it was so convoluted. Okay, the best thing out of that, I remember out of that tag team, this was like in 2016. I remember it was at least down to the Usos in the bar when they actually have a great match out there at the time. But like I said, New Day and the Usos, they put on a great match just as usual. They always bring out the best in both of those teams, probably the best teams on that show regardless anyways. But Usos and the New Day, kill as usual. Kofi and Big E. Dude, Kofi with these jump spots is just crazy. That's like the thing, he hangs on the ropes and then flips himself out of there, and Jimmy Uso got distracted and Big E just hit him from the side. And they got a lot of time out here too, I'll give them that. But you got Jey Uso, he had like a power bomb once Kofi tried to go for a head scissors up top. He pretty much did the Uso splash and won. And of course, which in a way, like, they're doing this match, and I'll get to that in a second, the rest of the match and everything, but Uso celebrated, New Day just kind of, I don't know, were disappointed in what happened. Jimmy Uso pretty much said, we fought each other different times, and since they're the captains of Team Smackdown, you two are the first picks to be on Smackdown, which was kind of coming, because they had this great of a match just to, see who was going to be the captain of this Smackdown tag team thing. And you knew they were going to be you knew both of these teams were going to be on the same team either way, with the New Day and the Usos. But like I said, they respected each other after that. And listen, these two teams always put on a great match with each other, so you can't never really doubt them. They always put on a great match. And dude, it's kind of funny, because what teams do you really have on Monday Night Raw? Okay, SmackDown pretty much beats them by a landslide when you look at it. Honestly, I don't really need to see another 5-on-5 tag team, because how many people is that? We got, is that 2, 4, so it's like, 20 guys in the ring, if I'm correct? Yeah, 20 guys. Because if you got the Usos and the New Day, that's them already. Who else is on SmackDown? I'll get to Sanity later, but they're already dead. Oh God, who else is on SmackDown? That's a team. Who else is on SmackDown that is a team? The Bar are already in a match, so they're already going against the Authors of Pain, so they're not really going to count right now. Jesus, who is another team on SmackDown? They put Ascension on Raw. Who else is the New Day? No, Harper. No, Rowan's out, so Harper's not getting. Harper, I don't even know where they put Harper. He's on NXT nowadays. Honestly, I don't even know all the teams on SmackDown, to be honest. I really don't know unless I'm really forgetting somebody. Who else is a team on SmackDown? I'm really trying to put this in my head. I'm serious. I'm really trying to put this in my head. Who else is a team on SmackDown? Because I don't know. I honestly do not know who else is a team on SmackDown. And I'm really trying to go through the ringer of who is still a team on here. And, I might just go look that up, or somebody just has to tell me that. Because, like I said, right now you got the Usos, New Day. Like I said, Sanity will probably be part of it, even though they're pretty much dead. But like I said, I'll get to them in a second. But, I'll get back on the tag team thing later. But did we really need another 5-on-5 tag team thing going on anyways? But next, Miz was talking about his movie, which, he couldn't get the interview on in the late night talk shows like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. And they wanted Becky and everything because of his, straight to DVD movie. Which, who keeps greenlighting these Marine movies? Who keeps greenlighting these things? Okay, what? Becky and Shawn Michaels are in it. What is this, Marine 6? Dude, who keeps buying these things? I'm serious. Who's greenlighting these movies? I don't get it. I'm surprised they even got 6 movies at this point. That's just weird. But since Brian can, talk about his promotional appearance, Daniel said he selected Rey Mysterio to be part of the team. But Miz says, what has Rey done ever since he came back? Brian said Rey has beaten Nakamura, Orton, and now he beat you not that long ago. But he has to win his match against Almas if he's going to be on this team. So, alright, they pretty much came to the deal. Which they had this weird thing going on, too, where they guess they were kind of weird, like, we're working together, but, they don't want to work together. But they said this is just weird because we fought each other for so long. So it's like, it's just a bad vibe with both of them in a way. Becky Lynch came out. I did like how she ripped off the Ronda shirt to show the shirt I Am the Man. As Becky came out, of course, Becky got a big chant. People sang her theme song, even though she's supposed to be a heel, according to them. But this crowd treats her like a face. But, she went on Ronda, and dude, this is a great promo from Becky, okay? Dude, Becky is just on just another level. I don't think she will beat Ronda because this company has too much investment in Ronda, and they look at her as the biggest thing going right now in the women. But, and stuff, but Becky killed it right here. And she says, Ronda thinks she can tell the champ anything, but yes, Ronda has a title, but she is not a champion, okay? That Becky, she said that champion rules herself in, injury, adversity, defeat, everything. Ronda Rousey has not been challenged yet because, Becky is the man, she says. And it's Survivor Series, her titanium body, is going to let down her very weak mind. And, she's been, Becky says, I've been beaten, I've been chewed up, spit out, everything, but I've gotten back up as many times as she could count. Alright, and I wasn't hand-picked like Ronda Rousey. But, people started chanting Becky again. I wasn't never meant to be in the main event or have all this. So, be the biggest thing that she took all those jobs. You want to talk about my past things? I took all those jobs to get to where I am today. Alright? So she went on from that, and, she says she should be happy that, that she has Ronda's respect, because she says she's not trying to earn Ronda Rousey's respect. She's going to take her arm. And Ronda can say, she is the baddest bitch on the planet, but it's Survivor Series. I'm going to make you mine. So another just, great promo from Becky, and the crowd loves it. They love it. But then she says, you know what? I want to fight. Anybody come out. Anybody wants the arm, bro? Come face me right now. But like I said before, folks, they look at her as the heel. This company, they want her to be the heel, which they're gonna do a Survivor Series, okay? They are. Like I said, hopefully they give Becky some time out there against Ronda and that job Becky out and stuff. But what this company is gonna do, okay? They know they're gonna have Ronda Rousey win and beat Becky Lynch. It's coming. You do know it's coming. Listen, in a perfect world, Becky will win, but they're not gonna let that happen, okay? But next thing you know, Becky come out. Sanity's music hits, which they have not been seen in so long because they were killed off a long time ago, which I even forget there's still a team on there. I really do. I forget they're still on there. But they brought out Nikki Cross in, so I guess this is Nikki Cross's Smackdown debut. I thought she was doing it on NXT with that whole mystery thing, but I think that's over now, probably. But she went up, Nikki went up to Becky, says like, she wanted to step to, Becky said, you want to step to the champ, and Nikki says, I want to play, okay? Which, just acting very insane, creepy, and Becky says, I don't play, I fight, alright? Which, now I'm looking at this, and like I said, I know WWE is going to put this in a different way, of who is the face and who is the heel, but isn't Sanity heel, so Nikki Cross is a heel, and since this company wants to be Becky to be the heel, it is a heel versus heel match, I guess, when you want to look at it, even though the crowd looked at Becky as a face, and they like both women, okay, the crowd was, big for both of them, but then I'm sitting there wondering, okay, we brought Nikki Cross up to SmackDown, it's her first match and everything, against Becky Lynch, and stuff, which the match wasn't really that bad. All right, Becky won with the disarmer and made Nikki tap out, which maybe that could have ended in DQ since it was Nikki Cross's debut. Should Nikki really be losing to Becky Lynch right now? They could have just thrown any other woman out to job to Becky, but like, why are we gonna use a debuting Nikki Cross? Which, like I said, the match wasn't bad or anything. I don't know if this does damage to Nikki Cross. I hope it doesn't, okay? Listen, it's cool they put her with Sanity and everything, but they've already killed Sanity to the depths, okay? They've murdered Sanity. They've lasted 2 weeks barely until they just start getting jobbed out to everybody, okay? And now they pretty much disappeared from the show for so long, you forget they were even there, okay? You really do forget they were even there on Smackdown. So I don't know if it's going to be a difference now since Nikki Cross is finally in the group, because I'm like, maybe it's better than Nikki Cross is still in NXT, because she could be getting killed like the rest of them. So I don't know where this goes for her on SmackDown or anything. Like I said, the match wasn't, it wasn't that bad, and the crowd went crazy for Nikki Cross, but should she have really been losing on her debut match to Becky and everything? Because I know we got to make the champ look strong, but I don't know. It's just something good about it. And I hope they don't, bury Nikki Cross on here. But then again, the guy with Sanity, I don't know. Hopefully not. But knowing this company, they will probably try to bury him one way or another. Next, I would say the best match of the entire night, if you ask me, Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas, which was just, dude, I swear to God, this was just an insane match. I love that DDT Mysterio did from the outside. That splash he does with flipped into a DDT. Almas doing those double knee, charge knee things on Rey and stuff. Even, Almas doing that double jump moonsault with Rey putting his knees up, which he tried to get for a 619, but Almas pretty much lifting him to the outside of the ring in a way. They went out of the ring, but, he was still on his shoulders. Almas tried to get a power bomb, but Rey hit him, Hurricane Rana into the LED board. Rey, once he had Hurricane Rana into the ropes, was a sliding DT into the ropes. 619, it was over for the splash too. Listen, and to be honest, I haven't seen Almas on TV in a long time, okay? I really have not seen Almas in a very long time. And there was no Zelina Vega. They said Zelina Vega was on some managerial duties or something like that. Listen, and Almas is great, but he needs a big win. I honestly do believe. Because now it's like, listen, the guy could put on a great match out there. And this was a great match with him and Rey Mysterio, okay? It really was. But can he get a win or something? Because it's almost like you're letting this guy kind of waste. Because they already messed up when they brought him up in the beginning, because he was barely on SmackDown, but like one time it didn't disappear for a number of months. Then look, he's going somewhere, but it's almost like, I remember somebody saying it in this, it's like he's jobbing to the stars to make them look good. Okay, when's it going to be his time? Because honestly, they never should have brought him up from NXT if I'd already heard stuff saying they had nothing for him. Why bring somebody from NXT if you get to the main roster and say, oh, we got nothing for you then? So, Almas looked like really great, but you barely see him on SmackDown. Puts on a great match, hell of a match with anybody, but they need to do something more with him. Randy Orton then pretty much RKO Rey Mysterio after that, leaving him there. So I don't know where that's gonna go on to be. Miz and Bryan start arguing about Orton attacking then, so I don't know what they're gonna do from there. AJ Styles, the WWE champion, which I believe now today is 1 year since AJ Styles won the WWE championship in this town, country, the UK, Manchester, from Jinder Mahal last year on SmackDown at this, literally, kind of crazy, 1 full year AJ Styles has been champion. And, since he beat Jinder last year on SmackDown, he said he's defended his championship in 2 different continents against multiple opponents and everything. And he says reward once again is facing Brock Lesnar for the 2nd year in a row at Survivor Series. And he says he's more of a beast than a man. And he gave Brock everything last year as he started naming his moves, the Pele kick and the forearm calf killer and all that. And the result could be the same, but AJ said, it's going to be different this year. He says he's going to beat Brock Lesnar. Alright, and that's at a prediction that is a spoiler, which was a very great match too, because AJ actually, put Brock to something last year, a good 15 minutes match. Actually brought a really great match out of Brock Lesnar. That's really rare to say nowadays with him too, because he actually brought something out in Lesnar this time. Really did, especially for a 15-minute match. Which, like I say, even brought him to 15 minutes, not no 5, 6, 7-minute match. Actually put some time in out there, okay? So, I don't know if AJ's actually going to win this year. Because, like, is he going to win? Because I guess he lost last year. Which I hope he does win, but he had a good promo, too. I know people saying that I think AJ, I know he's been the longest champion, even though I think his reign mostly has just been facing Nakamura and Joe throughout the entire year, which is pretty much 2 opponents. I guess Rusev, but that didn't really go that long, to be honest. I think they just want him to beat CM Punk's record, which I do believe. Like I said before, this company's really petty over CM Punk either way. All right, I really don't have no problem he beats CM Punk's record, but they're very petty over Punk because they do that best in the world thing and AJ's title reign, which I just really do believe is just taking a shot at Punk. It really is when you think about it. Okay. Because this best in the world thing, you knew you were going to get CM Punk chance. So they're just doing anything they can to kind of mess with it. Paige came out as she introduced the women for the Survivor Series team. Carmella, which had Truth come out do their entrance, the What's Up song. Naomi, Sonya Deville, Asuka, and it was going to be Charlotte, but Charlotte didn't come out. But it was Mandy Rose then. As, she said it wasn't the blonde they ordered. But Paige said, she wasn't going to take Charlotte's spot in the team since there was no Charlotte. I guess they're playing that, which I feel like is now going to be some redemption story that loss to Becky has now hurt Charlotte, so now she doesn't have the confidence in herself or something. But she asked Paige, why did she choose Sonya over me? Is it because I eliminated her in the Battle Royale? Which now it looks like is this. Okay, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they've been a team, yes, but they've barely done nothing with these women. And yes, one eliminated one at Evolution, but now are we having a feud with this? Because this is literally out of nowhere, and there really hasn't been enough stuff going on with these two to even why there is a feud. But Mandy Rose started talking about everyone in. Asuka is yesterday's news, which really is almost true in a way when you think about it. Carmella's title reign was short and pointless, just like her dancing. And that if Naomi, does anyone still feel the glow? Does her husband Jimmy still feel it? And pretty much Naomi was pissed. I guess tried to snatch Mandy Rose's ball. I swear she pulled some hair from her. I really thought she did. And Deville pulled Mandy Rose back, which they had a stare down with each other. So is this gonna be a Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville feud, or who's these two are gonna fight to try to get on the team now? I guess I don't know how, but I guess they're making this a feud. But you barely seen these two women do that much. They're not, and I'm not gonna say they're enhancement talent like the freaking Iconics, because that's what those two have really become. But is this really gonna go somewhere? And I don't know. Something odd about that feud. Really odd about it, just out of nowhere. Samoa Joe didn't win against Jeff Hardy to see who was gonna become on the team for Survivor Series, since Miz had picked Joe. Listen, this match wasn't bad. I've seen it multiple times in the past. But, Miz and Bryan were on commentary. Jeff did the Swanton Bomb. Joe pretty much put his knees up, hit the kicking clutch for the win. Joe then pretty much went up to Bryan and gloated then. Bryan then started punching Samoa Joe, put him in the yes lock, but Miz came to break it up. And everything, but Bryan started going to Miz then. Shane McMahon tried to break it up, but then Bryan flipped Shane McMahon, and he flipped Shane McMahon. Pretty much Shane was like, what the heck was that? Pretty much, like, why you flip? Sorry, I'm looking for something. Like, why you flip me for now? Like, why'd you do that? Like, you're gonna flip me down, and pretty much ended the show. Listen, with Survivor Series kind of coming up now. Listen, they really rushed this thing when you think about it. We're 2 weeks away from Survivor Series and stuff. But it's almost like you have to rush things and rush these teams. That's why we didn't really see no type of, Raw fight Smackdown. Because if we got another week to go from this, it's like another week. So, no, I don't think the go-home show's next week. But it's like you have to rush this entire thing now when you think about it. Because now with these teams, who will cooperate? Or who's going to destroy each other from the inside? Which, like I said, they spent so much time building the crown jewel. They built the crown jewel more than they built Survivor Series, I can say that. So it's almost like, where did we really go on from here with this, because we're just really rushing in the Survivor Series. Like, they really are. Say what you want, but Survivor Series is kind of feeling a bit rushed. That's why we're just putting all these teams together as fast as possible. And who's gonna turn? Now people saying who's gonna turn heel? Is Shane McMahon gonna turn heel? Is Miz gonna turn face? Is Bryan gonna turn heel? Because now it's like you got a lot of things going on all over the place now. Because SmackDown pretty much has their full team now. Okay, you have Bryan, you have Miz, which now they have to figure out how to cooperate as the co-captains. You have Shane McMahon, which I knew was gonna be in here regardless. Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio, unless Orton does something next week and he ends up in the match. Raw, you only got like 3 people with Corbin as the captain, which is just still dumb. They've done this in the past too, of captains, but you know, they pick the team. I just think the stupidest one is the women that, oh, we have to make Alexa Bliss the captain, but she can't even wrestle. So what is she worth then? Like I've said in yesterday's review for Raw, why is she even the captain? She's pretty much worthless at this point. Why? Just put some other woman as the captain that's actually going to compete. It's just dumb to me. But I don't know. SmackDown. Like I said, it was a better show. I will say that. I would say Mysterio and Almas was probably the best match of the entire night. It really was. And we got to see the debut of Nikki Cross. Like I said, the co-captains and everything. But it wasn't that bad of an episode of SmackDown. And Becky's promo was like probably one of the biggest things of the night too. So like I said, SmackDown, a way better show than Raw just in general. Like I said, if you had to vote for who's the better show this week, SmackDown or Raw, it's SmackDown. And don't forget to vote, because it is an important day. Alright, it is. But, like I said, SmackDown, better show. Survivor Series coming fast. 2 weeks. So, time to rush things. But, we will see what happens. I guess I should say Nakamura's, I think I forgot about Nakamura's little video thing he did, talking about he's going to take out Seth Rollins, which I don't think he's going to beat Seth Rollins unless they have Ambrose screw him. But you know, I can see that coming in coming weeks, which we will probably see at Survivor Series regardless. But overall, like I said, we pretty much got the teams for both the men and women on SmackDown. You really do. In case Charlotte is not going to do it and we get another captain. But like I said, I'm rambling on here, and I'm going to end it from here. But that's my review of SmackDown. I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. So yeah, if you want to see more, check out more reviews or anything you want to check out. I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. Check out my Raw review. And hey, check out my Crown Jewel review. You know, I should have did a New Japan review too the next day after, because that Power Struggle really got the bad taste of Crown Jewel out of my mouth when you see Jericho versus Evil. But I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.